Hey there, my name is John. You're watching the Strix YouTube channel, and today is the 10th episode in the behind the scenes series where we're talking about really building, launching, and creating Stryx, the company. So if you want to see those, we'll link to those below and we'll have a playlist on those. Today, it's all about entering CVS in our retail strategy because this was a huge decision for the company. And there were many discussions with investors and advisors and everything else. And so I'm joined by my co-founder, Devere. And I can remember some of the earliest conversations that we had when we talked about retail. We thought we were going to go high end. We wanted to be in high-end retailers at affordable prices with premium product. And over time, that's definitely evolved. And I think that really came to a head when we saw early success at a test at CVS. It was like, here's our test, here's how we performed, and we thought, okay, this signals something different than we expected, much like the website redesign.
Yeah, definitely. We tested at 10 locations in the Rhode Island, Massachusetts area, which is where CVS is headquartered. Those tests were successful, and I think we felt, and I'm sure CVS as well, like if we could be successful kind of in the middle of Rhode Island at a bunch of random locations, we could definitely be successful in New York and the rest of the East Coast, West Coast, these sorts of locations as well. And yeah, I mean, it was obviously a big decision because there's always the inclination, especially with a product like ours, to go higher end, luxury retail, whatever it might be. But I think we felt that there's a real opportunity with CVS here to reach the everyday guy, to be where guys are, where guys shop. We don't want these products to feel elite or only luxury, right? This is for every guy, every situation, whatever it might be. And so CVS is like the perfect partner for that, especially because they've been putting a lot more effort into the men's category, the men's grooming category. So they're already carrying a bunch of much more modern, younger brands. And if anyone watching this out there hasn't actually looked at the CVS grooming section for guys, you'd probably be surprised at how many great modern brands they're carrying. I know that pretty much all the brands that I was using are now carried at CVS. And so to be on a nice new display with our own signage and promotional opportunities right next to all these other brands that guys are already comfortable buying from is a huge opportunity. And I think, CVS comes to you, they want to roll out at 2,000 stores nationwide. They're giving you this tremendous opportunity. They're putting you alongside all these other established men's brands. It's a pretty hard thing to say no to.
Yeah, and part of it is being next to those brands, but also it was all about the opportunity. Us as a brand, we want to destigmatize these products and to be not just alongside the brands, but also other products that guys are buying, whether it would just be a face wash or like we're actually in the aisles next to razors and deodorant and like everyday items for guys. And like the biggest step in making these products normalized, accessible, and destigmatizing them is to put them in that retail environment. And so that was really at the core of when we were deciding between, is it CVS? Is it another, channel? We really thought that was the way that we can really bring these products to a much wider market.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you just think about the amount of people, the amount of guys that are going to be walking past our products every single day. It's unparalleled. They're one of the largest retailers in the country, really in the world. Nothing really comes close, and just to be able to have that line in almost to the typical average everyday guy see these products, obviously we advertise online and things like that, and then oh wow, you're in your local CVS and there it is. It's just a huge opportunity. And look, I mean, we are a direct-to-consumer e-com company first. That's our bread and butter. That's our heart and soul. That's what we know and did the best for over a year until we launched at CVS, or right around the year. And so to be kind of now operating in this like wholesale retail channel, it doesn't come without its difficulties. There's no question about that. it's a whole new system. It's a whole new world for us to learn and navigate through. It's funny because on the one hand, going through it, we're like, well, this is why everyone went direct to consumer. All right. But on the other hand, it's like there are also all these really nice abilities that you have with retail and wholesale. It's like there are pluses and minuses to both. You know, that's the reality. And so we as a company feel that the right strategy going forward is having this nice mix between direct-to-consumer channels and also wholesale retail channels. And an opening partner like CVS is you know, we couldn't have asked for something better.
It's also huge that we made that decision amidst COVID, and it was like, okay, we're going to do this rollout, and then the timing. We thought the timing might not be the same, but CVS stayed open through the entire thing. And so then we also had to go into production in order to fulfill a very large order for CVS. And that was also amidst COVID. And so it made for a very interesting few months as we were quarantined. I talked to some friends who were like, oh, what are you up to? And I'm like, I'm very busy.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. We were a little delayed, so CVS is watching this. We're sorry, but we were a little delayed in production just due to coronavirus. Again, I think we mentioned this in an earlier video. Our factory in Korea, while 100% functional, was at the time primarily devoted to doing hand sanitizers and sanitizing products. And so we had to wait for our turn to get into production. We got into production, we were able to deliver. We also redid our packaging specifically for CVS. That was a whole undertaking. Yeah, I mean, definitely a stressful time, but we were able to go into production. We were able to roll out. Yeah, I mean, if you're watching this now, we should probably most likely be at a CVS near you.
Yeah, we'll have the store locator link below. The other thing too, and this is like the foresight that we talked about in a previous video where you had gone with a third-party logistics provider instead of trying to fulfill yourself, is like having the products come from Korea, go to the warehouse, and then the warehouse was able to interface with CVS. That ended up becoming like a huge thing that you couldn't have foreseen when you started that. But the fact that you had gone with a third-party logistics provider, we were able to work with them because they had experience in that realm. And so us as a very small team was able to still fulfill that order was really big.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I mean, there's a big learning experience there for the warehouse as well. How specifically does Strix work with CVS? How do our products need to be packed? The case pack quantities, all these sorts of things. But yeah, and again, anyone out there that's going to be launching a CPG company, make sure from day one you're putting GS1 barcodes on the products. We were ready to go straight into retail. It makes things so much easier, not only for the retailer, but for the warehouse, for packing, for all that stuff. So that was a piece of advice I had gotten early on in the company. So we've had those barcodes on our product boxes since day one. And I mean, if we also had to first start dealing with that, I don't know what we would have done. So that's a big tip as well.
I remember seeing, I think Jamie Schmidt just tweeted about that very recently. She was like, she had the budget UPC codes, but then when she went into retailer, she had to manage 2 different sets of inventory with barcodes and everything. And so that is a great tip. I didn't even catch that one.
Yep, GS1 barcodes.
Good. So if you learned anything, if you're a launch company, barcodes. Well, that's great. So that's been CVS. Yeah, like we said, I mean, the store rollout is coming to its end depending on when this video goes up. And we'll have the store locator linked below where you can see our products in person. They have the concealer and the gel cleanser. So should be in a local CVS by you. And so far, an amazing partner as we get this national rollout, and very exciting as well. So let us know down below, what are the other behind the scenes stuff you want to know about as we're building new products. We've got 2 more in the hopper right now, and we're constantly working on more things. We're always open to your feedback. So we'll see you in the comments. We'll see you on Instagram, and that is Strix, you more handsome.